What is up, guys? This is a video I've been really wanting to do for a long time, which is basically just my top 5 moments of the Alvarez Empire thus far, my favorite moments, I guess. Don't worry, I will balance it out. I'm gonna make a separate video for the top 5 worst moments in this arc, in my opinion. So that will be coming soon. And I'm also doing a discussion video just about like why I think this arc is really disappointing, so that as well is coming. But I wanted to do this one first to kind of get like the positives out of the way, and then I guess the next two videos I do are going to be, I guess, sort of more on the negative side. So yeah, I guess enjoy this video. So yeah, let's get it started. Alright, so I'm gonna start off this list with a little bit of a surprising one, I guess. Just like Brandish's introduction for me was like one of the best moments in this arc. She was the first, I believe she was the first Spriggan that we got to meet. But it was just like a whole different aura and like feeling with the Spriggans when she was introduced. Like she fucking gave Fairy Tail a warning, like to don't come at, like to stay away from the Spriggan 12 because we are just like this impossibly strong group that you guys cannot even like hold a candle to. And of course now we know that isn't true, but back then that was like so hyped to me. I also like she was actually like really cool. I liked the whole star mango fruit thing or whatever. It like, I guess, humanized her, made her seem relatable, and I always like seeing like little quirks to villains and stuff like that. So that was always pretty cool. But yeah, man, she just had this like sort of like dominant aura to her, especially like how she treated Marin Hollow or whatever. Like she was like, "Don't make me repeat myself again" or stuff like that. She just had a really dominant feeling to her. And like Gray and Lucy, when they like sensed how much magic power she had, they were like scared shitless, dude. So it was like, it was so hype just being introduced like to her. And then the fact like this was just the first fucking Spriggan that we got introduced to, so it was like, I believe Lucy said this exact same thing too, that there's 12 more guys like her. Like it, like how much more hype could you build up the Spriggan 12? Obviously Hero has not delivered, but yeah, that's like, it was a really great fucking moment in my opinion. I also want to say that I really miss this Brandish in particular, like this dominant, like queen, like she feels like a fucking queen character, as opposed to like what she is now is just like super disappointing. She turned into like one of my favorite Spriggans to like one of my least favorite Spriggans. To her whole like Hero literally like changed her entire personality, I guess, like ever since meeting Lucy. And I don't know, that just was really disappointing to me because like how she was introduced, man, she was like a fucking like treat me like a queen basically was how she was, and that was like fucking awesome. So at number 5, we have Laxus versus Wall. If you guys have been like watching my channel, I think you guys know just how much I enjoyed this fight. I think besides the Eileen versus Acnologia fight, this is probably my favorite fight in this arc. And just because like Laxus versus Wall, it seemed like they were both fighting on par with each other, like they were on even playing fields. Like one side wasn't really getting the best of the other, if that makes any sense. Like Laxus just wasn't dominating Wall like you probably expected him to. Like Wall was actually making Laxus struggle like a lot. And I really fucking enjoyed that. The action was fucking crazy and like super hype. Wall transforming into his assault wall form or whatever. He's like sending Laxus flying with like rockets. He's shooting bullets and like torpedoes at fucking Laxus. Um, he's like making these huge fucking like guns out of his arms and firing at Laxus. Laxus is punching him back. So it was just like really back and forth, like not one side getting the better of the other, like I just said. A really like even fight until the end, until Laxus pulled out fucking Red Lightning, which is like the only thing I did not like about that fight was the Red Lightning out of nowhere. Um, That and I don't know, like the curing of his Bane particle things, I guess made sense or whatever, and it was smart that he was able to trick Wall into doing that. But I still don't really care for it because it's like, okay, Mashima, why would you make a big deal about the Bane particles and Laxus like being on death's door and then not do anything with it? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I really wish that Laxus actually would have been killed by that, but whatever. This is supposed to be a positive video, so I'll stay away from that. But yeah, this fight was fucking amazing, and that's why it is on my list. So next up on the list, we have the whole Sky Sisters versus Demaria situation. Now, I know I said that Laxus versus Wall was my favorite fight in this arc. I think the action was a lot better in the Laxus versus Wall fight. That's why I liked it more. But let me explain to you why this is higher on the list, I guess. Um, because this fight actually had stakes to it. Like Carla's life was literally hanging in the balance. There was like multiple layers and multiple things going on in this fight, I guess. So yeah, we had um Carla's life literally hanging in the balance of all of this. The old tier thing, which is still questionable to this day. Let's just whatever. That's whatever. Um, so the Sky Sisters basically were not doing anything to Demaria while she's in this takeover God Soul form or whatever. Um, what's her name? Old tier then brings up the third origin, which adds another layer to this entire battle. One of them has to use third origin, but it comes at a cost, a huge sacrifice, which this arc still to this day needs more things like this. It needs more sacrifices. So Wendy comes up and she's like, okay, I will do it. I will sacrifice my magic in order to gain the power to defeat Demaria. So she goes in, fucking attacking Demaria, thinking that she has the third origin activated, when in reality she doesn't, and she's getting literally the shit kicked in. Like she is getting fucked up terribly by Demaria because she thinks she has third origin, when in reality it is actually Shelia that has third origin, which sucks because I bet you if Wendy figured out that she didn't have it, she would not have rushed in like she did. Which is actually pretty fucked up by Old Tier that she actually lied to Wendy about that. But yeah, so she rushes in thinking she has third origin. Shelia is the one that actually has it. So she's like super powerful. She's also a God Slayer, which works in her advantage, of course. Um, yeah, and then her and Demaria go at it a little bit. This is what I think is weaker than the Laxus versus Wall fight because the action between Future, Shelia, and Demaria wasn't actually that long. It was like literally a couple punches. But where I think it's actually better than the Laxus versus Wall fight is the fact that there was actual stakes. This felt like it was a race against time. It was intense. Wendy actually getting super fucked up. Like she lost basically. Like she stood no chance against Demaria, which I actually liked. And then just the fact that Shelia cannot use magic anymore. Like she has lost the ability to use magic. She's just an ordinary little girl now, which is like it's fucking like it's sad, but it's really cool that we were able to have a sacrifice like that in this arc, which still like is probably the only major sacrifice on the level of like Tartaros, I would say, that we've had in this arc. It's like the one good sacrifice that we've had in this arc, and we're in a fucking war, so like we desperately need more things like that. And I don't know, that moment has always been a standout for me. Just Shelia making that sacrifice because it is a war. We need things like that in a war. So yeah, that has always been a standout for me. I've always loved that moment, and so far Shelia still has not gotten her magic back. So I think that is pretty good, and that's why it is this high on my list. Alright, so next up on my list is Zeref revealing everything to Natsu. Literally just all of the cards out on the fucking table. I mean, first off, he starts off by telling Natsu, "You are END." Like, we've been waiting so long for Natsu to find out that he is End, and we finally get it in this chapter. On top of that, Zeref also reveals my name is Zareth Dragneel, and I am your brother. So that was like an also like huge like, oh my god, we've been waiting for this moment as well. We also get just so much information about what happened 400 years ago. Well, first of all, we learned that Natsu and the other four Dragon Slayers, the main ones, are indeed from 400 years ago. We learned that fucking Zeref and Igneo were friends and they actually helped each other out. Zeref was actually involved in the plan to send the Dragon Slayers 400 years into the future to stop Acnologia. So we're learning this chapter was just a huge info dump chapter, but like in the best way possible. Literally the best way fucking possible. We finally get to learn like one of the biggest revelations or like mysteries in the entire fairy tale series is like what is Layla Heartfilia's involvement in all of this, and we finally get to learn that she was the one who opened the eclipse gates to let the Dragon Slayers into her time basically, which was like super fucking crazy to learn about. This was also the first time we got to hear about Anna Heartfilia. Yeah, and then on top of that, we also fucking learned that if Zeref dies, Natsu dies as well, which was like, for me, it was like the moment I just threw my hands up and I was like, this is a fucking 10 out of 10 chapter. Like, this is fucking insanity. Yeah, it was a fucking phenomenal chapter in my opinion. Just Natsu learning literally everything. It was a fucking great chapter. So my favorite moment in the Alvarez Empire arc is chapter 488, which is my favorite chapter in fairy tale history. Like not just this arc, but in history. I know I'm cheating a little bit by including the entire chapter, but I think this chapter in its entirety should be recognized. Because start to finish, man, this chapter was fucking a roller coaster, an emotional fucking roller coaster. So Gagio and Levy are my favorite ship. Probably the only, no, like definitely the only ship that I care about in Fairy Tail. Just because they feel like the most realistic to me. From where they started to where they are now has been such a great development to see. As opposed to like Juvia and Gray and Lucy Natsu, all of them have felt stagnant, have felt the same, and we are like almost 600 chapters in. Um, but yeah, man, just like this chapter was fucking beautiful, man. To see just like Gagio's like raw emotions come out and how he feels about this fucking girl. Like Levy is like literally the one that has changed Gagio for the better. Just hearing Gagio talk about like he wants to have a fucking family with this girl, like he's actually thinking about family and thinking about the future with Levy, and that Levy is the one that taught like what it means to love. Things like that, man, was so fucking heartbreaking to see. Even like little moments that really killed me. Lily popping out of nowhere and stopping Levy from running after Gagio fucking destroyed me. Fucking Gagio pinning Levy to a tree to stop her from running after him, but then Levy cutting the tree in half to continue to run after him. Man, this chapter, like, that's well, that was just the start of the chapter, but that was so like the execution with that was so fucking beautiful, so well done, which makes it even more head scratching why he would like go back on Gagio's death and all of that. It's still like I still to this day don't fucking understand that why he would do that. Like I really I really don't. That might be on one of my worst moments of the arc of Gagio just coming back. I don't know, maybe. But yeah, I disagree with him bringing him back because I felt like that was such a great way for Gagio to go out, but yeah, whatever. So yeah, all that stuff was fucking like beautiful, 10 out of 10. And then on top of that, we get the start to Eileen versus Acnologia, the whole confrontation. And then after that, we get fucking messed with the biggest fuck up I've ever seen. I've literally ever seen. making Brandish stab August, and August literally flipping the fuck out and like wrecking everybody, or at least I don't know. He didn't wreck everybody, but he was pissed off, and like he was about to fucking negotiate with you guys, and I don't know, man. Mess just fucked up so bad, and that was just like to end the chapter off like that was like literally the cherry on top. Like it was literally, I don't think there's been a better chapter than this, between the Gagio stuff, Eileen versus Acnologia starting, and then August fucking unleashing his fucking power. And that is it for my top 5 moments in the Alvarez Empire arc. Um so yeah, I don't know. Hope you guys liked it. Um some things that I didn't include that I probably would have if it was like a top 10, or that were like really close to making this list, was obviously Acnologia versus Eileen. I really like the escape battle from like the early parts of the arc with Agil. I think they were called like, one chapter was called Escape Battle, and then the other one was The Land Abandoned by Gods or whatever. Like I really enjoyed that stuff also. So yeah, there's some really great moments in this arc. But in my next video, I will get to the things that I hate in this arc, or that I just feel are disappointing, I guess. So yeah, definitely expect fucking Nineheart to be there because he fucking pisses me off, okay? But yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys for the next video.